Karl, is this on? You've been a pro fighter for 12 years, right? And this is your first fight here in the States, right?
Yes, bro. It is 12 years.
Yeah, 2011, right?
Yeah, it is. You're right. Jesus,
yeah.
It's a long time. Jesus. But yeah, mate, the answer to your question is my first time fighting in the States, yeah.
Yeah, what do you think? Do you like traveling, or did you prefer? I mean, you had all these home games in Dublin. Like, would you have preferred that?
Bro, we talked about that in the hotel last night. It's like fighting the 3 in Dublin. It's a class experience. It is unbelievable. But, like, I don't know about every other Irish guy, but, like, for me, one of the best things about doing MMA, one of the main goals is, like, the fight on a premier organization, one of the biggest show in the world, in a massive state in America. I mean, I'm in Chicago, it's the second biggest city in America, in a class arena. It's one of them, like, lifetime goals. So for me, it's like, I've already won. I fight in Chicago, the biggest organization in the world, and I get paid to do it. It's just, yeah, for me, this is class, man.
Yeah, this has been the goal for you, and obviously you're really rolling now. You're on a great winning streak. I guess, is there anything you can kind of point towards to say, like, hey, I've always been a good fighter, but now I'm being really consistent with my performances? Is there any sort of changes that you made to kind of get on this roll, or has it just been putting it all together?
If I really had to dig deep in it, the only change that I could really pinpoint that's made a massive difference is, like, I'm never really taking time off. I'm taking time off, but it's not like in the past I would have had a fight and then maybe not train for like a couple of weeks. I just went and enjoyed life, was a bit younger. Where now it's like I'll always train. So it's not like I'm going through a training camp and then going down to 50% and have to bring it back up again. I'm always maintaining like a high level and then just bumping up weeks before the fight. But yeah, that's the only thing I can say is different. I mean, I've always been consistent, but these last, say, 12, 14 months, I've really just put my head down and just put the work in. Yeah.
What do you think of this matchup? Obviously, kind of a guy that's maybe a little bit more established in the Bellator hierarchy. He's had some big fights here, former LFA champion. Is this the sort of name that you were hoping for?
Yeah, well, that's what I wanted. My last fight was against Rosansky, an unranked guy, very dangerous opponent, but this is the kind of fights I want. My first fight back after 3 years was against Braxton. He was ranked number 6, well established in the Bellator division, but this is what I want because I was out for 3 years, and I want these guys to just, these type of fights and wins will only push me up closer and closer to that number 1 contender spot. So yeah, mate, that's exactly what I want.
And what does he bring to the table, do you think? What do you have to be careful of? Obviously, he's had some nice submissions that have gone on his highlight reel, but when you look at him from your perspective, what are you going to be careful of?
Everything. I mean, all guys in my weight class, if they land one heavy shot, it can change the course of the fight. But me personally, probably he's durable, he's got decent wrestling, good submission, man. So just fight like you always fight smart, stay switched on, and just don't give him anything, don't make any mistakes, and give him any easy openings. Just make it a hard night for him. Just make it difficult.
And I guess, what are you kind of setting out to accomplish this year, so to speak? Like, I know the short-term plan, get a win, but how does your path to the title go? Is it just kind of trying to stay semi-active like you talked about, kind of continue to mount these performances?
My plan is falling into place. When I was re-signed with Bellator, I said I want 4 to 5 fights within the year. And this is my 3rd fight in 9 months. And if all goes to plan, touch wood, all being well, no injuries, nothing, I'll be on the Dublin card in September, so it'll be 4 fights in the space of a year. That's exactly what I wanted. When this next fight, that sets me up, in my opinion, for a number 1 contender shot or a title fight. So get this one out of the way, and then in September again, and then that's it. See where it goes from there. But yeah, mate, like I said, that's my plan, was to get 4 to 5 fights within a year, and I'm halfway there.
You kind of already talked about it, but first time in the States, top 5 opponent in the rankings. Really, the stage is set for you not only to come in and explode into the top 5, but then lay out your own plan, a title contending shot or a title contender fight in Dublin at the end of this year. Can you really put into words just how big this fight is for you?
This fight's like any other fight. For me, from I was saying to Bellator, I treat every fight like it's a number 1 contender fight, or it's like a title fight, because if you look past any opponent or you think it's not as important, that's when stuff goes to shit. So my mindset hasn't really changed. It's a massive, I'm aware of the ramifications, but for me, it's just the exact same sort of fight. Another guy I got to beat. I mean, this guy isn't a person to me, it's just a guy that I got to pass to get to where I need to be. So
business as usual for you coming into this one.
Bro, just business as usual.
Yeah, but in the States, you know, in a big city like, you know, here that loves, you know, they love their fights. Yeah. What can you do with such a, you know, tough opponent across from you to really branch yourself out and really grow your fan base and show the entire world what you're capable of?
Finish him or beat him decisively. sit and then show that, okay, Karl Murray is legit. I think I've shown that, but I put this guy away or beat him decisively, like, okay, he belongs in the top 5, he's meant to be here, and he's just a real, genuine threat. So, no problem. Yeah. Just sit like this. Okay. Hi, Beth.
You're on an impressive 3-fight win streak and ranked 8th in Bellator. Do you believe that a win this weekend puts you into a title eliminator?
I think so, yes. I mean, like you said, I'm 3-0. With a win this weekend, I'll be 4-0, 4 wins in a row, with 2 wins over 2 guys that are ranked in the top 10. So, yeah, I think that puts me right up there. And if I win this fight, like I plan to do, I think it sets me up for the title ramification, especially with Nemkov and Romero fighting, and Anderson and Phil Davis. So there's a lot of moving parts in this show.
A lot of light heavyweights this weekend. Your opponent, Alex Polizzi, is a former collegiate wrestler. Do you anticipate him to try and take this fight to the ground?
Yeah. All his fights, he does seem to favours wrestling, which is smart, if that's what he should be doing. But in SBG, I mean, we train for that every single day, so it's not something I'm not going to be surprised by. But yeah, I do expect him to try and take me down, especially when I hit him a few times. I think he's going to try and take me down, yeah.
Thank you.
No problem. You're welcome. Hello.
Quick question.
Yes.
Since you're in Chicago, what is the one site that you look forward to seeing here while you're visiting Chicago?
To be honest, there's so much. I've always had an interest in Chicago. Correct me if I'm wrong, Chicago is the second biggest city in America, is it? Am I right? Second biggest city, third? Okay, close enough. But it's like there's so much history in this place too. It's like there's so much things to look at. When we got here, I was like, holy shit, it's like, where do I go? But there's nothing in particular, but I just want to enjoy the city for the Waco week, and it's nice too, because you're cutting calories, you're water loading, you've got to kill yourself to make weight. It's like, gives you a nice wee bit of buzz too, just seeing the city and gives you stuff to do. But no, there's nothing in particular. I just want to see as much as I can. Yeah. I look forward to the food after I make weight. I'm looking forward to that the most. Everything.
Sean?
Hi, Karl. You mentioned there that there's 3 light heavyweight fights on the card this weekend, but you're kind of the odd man out because all the rest of them have had fights against each other. Do you think if you win, that you are the one in pole position to actually get the next title fight above all of the other light heavyweights in the 3 fights?
I think it all depends on the performance and how I beat this guy. And like I said, it depends what happens in the other fights. But yeah, I think if I beat this guy or finish him, it sets me at least for a number 1 contender fight or title fight. Yeah.
Do you think there's any hope that title fight could happen as soon as September in Ireland? If you're to go and get a big knockout, and obviously the main event, if you're there kind of standing outside after that main event, is it possible September title fight in Ireland?
You never know, mate. I mean, my first win back, I called it Romero, and I got an unranked guy. So I'm just happy to fight anybody. Bellator's giving me a name, a date, the venue. I'm like, okay, what are they saying? I'm just going to keep fighting, because if I keep winning, that solves all the problems. And if I keep winning, eventually I'll get that shot at the belt, and that's just my goal, to keep winning fights, keep beating who they put in front of me, and then fight for the belt.
Santiago?
Hi, Karl. Thank you for the time.
No problem, mate.
Did you work a lot with John Kavanagh? And is John there with you in your corner? Because Richie is also on the card, right?
No, John, he had prior commitments booked before this fight was announced. I've got Dave Roach and Will Fleury with me, and Richie Smallin has Artem Lobov, Gary Rooney, and Dave Roach as well.
Zach?
Hello, Karl. And you mentioned that tonight is a big show for the light heavyweight division. So how do you see the fights going between Yoel Romero and Vadim Nemkov and Corey Anderson and Phil Davis?
Oh, they're really good matchups. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if the Nemkov or Romero goes either way. I mean, any one of those guys could win that fight, but I would probably sway more towards Nemkov. But I mean, it's Yoel Romero. You can't bet against Yoel Romero. Like I said, I wouldn't be surprised if it went either way. Anderson and Davis, very similar, very similar. Pretty much the same as the Nemkov and Romero fight. I wouldn't be surprised if it went either way. But I don't know who to pick in that one. I don't know. I really don't know.
Marty?
I really don't know who to pick in that one. That one's sort of 50-50 in my eyes.
Hi, Karl. A huge Bellator card ahead this weekend. For you to represent Ireland on this level and to show your dominance continually in the promotion, how does that make you feel?
It's what I'm here to do, mate. It's what I've worked the last 12 years for. It's what I train day in, day out for. It's just, it feels right. It's where I'm meant to be. It's what I'm supposed to be doing.